supposed to be navigating, but I'm busy filming anyways because the demand is high. I'm sorry I haven't posted anything recently. We've been kind of busy and I had some technical difficulties. But to give you a very quick update of what's going on, we had a lot of cool crap happen.
Holy guano, Batman!
Anyways, my dad, we went to go eat lunch on our way to Texas. Well, dinner actually. And we're driving through. We stop in the middle of the woods where they have this picnic table in an outhouse. And pretty much to sum it all up, Dad lit himself on fire. We were in a rabid animal-infested forest, and then we got our dinner rained out. We slept in a hotel that night. The tent also broke. It broke while my parents were in Dismas. And then when they picked me up in Denver, which actually I was wrong earlier, I did not fly to Colorado to go to Denver, but they picked me up in Denver, and while we were staying at a campground, this huge gust of wind came and busted my dad's patch job up, which was pretty much a soda can wrapped around, the tin from the soda can wrapped around the hole where it was busted with duct tape, splinting it. Well, that splint broke, so we took a rod from a bicycle frame and duct taped that to the hole to try and splint it. So now it kind of like hangs limply, and the tent sways to one side. But it works. It works. Won't complain.
Dad did another fix this morning.
Oh, and apparently he did another fix this morning. Made with a plastic skin from a soda bottle. So here's hoping that works better than tin. Let me think, where's all the places we've been? We went to Lake City to visit friends of the family. Well, first we spent the night in Denver with Mr. Wampler, and then he drove us back to his house in Lake City, where we spent like 3 nights with his family, which was epic. And we did all kinds of like crazy, we did the suburban on these high mountains and bounced all over the place, and there were like enormous like cliff edges that had my mom shaking at the knees, and I got to climb all over a million things, and I went running and tripped and bounced and rolled like 6 to 8 feet, and I'm okay though.
You dropped the camera on the way up.
And I dropped the camera on the way up this huge rock pile. Didn't even notice it. I was going to take the easy way down until I realized it was about halfway down the rock pile. May severity was amazing. We saw, sorry, the fans are cold. We saw, Rock City, or what was it?
Oh,
Castle Rock Palace.
No, Castle?
Palace, something like that.
Palace House. Palace what?
Balcony House.
Balcony House and Castle
something. Rock Castle or something like that. And then Longhouse. And my mom's like shaking in fear looking at the ladders we had to climb. And
no, that was excitement because I really liked archaeology.
Excuses. And then from May Severity we went to the Grand Canyon, where I stood on the edge of the abyss, which was what, 900-foot drop?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did stop in Monument Valley.
Cool. You slept through the sunrise.
It was interesting. I did sleep through the sunrise. We got to the Grand Canyon, and I got to stand on the edge of the abyss, which is a 900-foot drop, to which Mom is like covering her eyes and going, ah! 3,000 foot. 900 feet before you balance first. So we called my brother, who is an engineer, and asked him for the math formula to find out how long you would fall before you hit the bottom, not including terminal velocity of, what, 7 to 10 seconds?
Yes, but that is not the bottom, but the first bounce.
That's not the bottom, that's the first bounce. And then it's 900, that's 900 feet. So, yeah, you'd hit terminal velocity. But the important part is you're not coming back. They won't go out for your body down there. Also, there were these squirrels, weird little boogers. You'd be standing there, and they come up to your feet, and like their noses were glued to the ground, I swear. Instead of running around like normal squirrels, their little tail, their butts sticking up in the air, and they're like all over the place and like crawling around your shoes. I have never been that close to a squirrel before. It was stupid.
You got to tell them about the
weird
peeping gopher.
Yes, and our campsite in the Grand Canyon, there's this gopher right outside the door. I'm like rolling out of the tent, zombie mode, and there's this little fuzzy thing that's going out of the hole in front of our tent. It was like whack-a-mole. It was pretty epic. And then, it was it was at the Grand Canyon campsite where our tent busted. The first night we spent camping was at Mesa Verde. I don't think anybody slept that night.
Yeah, that's because you could sleep
Dad
next
slept.
to the train.
But you snore like a train. No wonder you can sleep next to a train. What next? Yeah, at night we're standing there trying to make elk burgers, okay? It's dark, we have our camp set up, and Dad and I are standing there with the camp stove. And I'm like hearing all kinds of crazy critters that aren't there. I was literally afraid of my own shadow. Something would move, and I'd like shine a flashlight over there and be like, and realize that what moved was actually me. But after about 10 minutes of that, I was okay. One thing I forgot to tell you guys about was the airport. That was really interesting. Turned out that the night before we left, I went over to my grandmother's totally and completely unprepared, and she and my aunt saved my keister because me being a moron, I didn't do any of the work I was supposed to do before I got the ticket information. So I kind of owe them. But the flight took off at 8:30, 7:30, one of them. So it's in Philadelphia, and my grandmother and I were in, I don't remember the name of that town. Gilbertsville. Thank you. She wins. We were in Gilbertsville, so
you need chocolate.
Forever to get to the airport. We got there, I went through the line to get into the plane thinking that was the checkout line. And I got there, and the lady looks at me and goes, "You don't have any of your tickets." I'm like, "Well, isn't this the check-in line?" And she's like, "No, it's down the hall." So I come running down the hall desperately. And, you know, I go there to get my tickets, and it won't let me pay with my card. So they send me down to the next line where I can pay with cash, and there's like this guy who's speaking some crazy Indian dialect that nobody knows, going, and nobody can talk to him, nobody knows what he's saying, and he's trying to pay for his ticket. And then, like, to the left of him, the other line, there are 4 guys standing there all trying to get their bags checked and whatnot. And, where's that map that's getting washed out? Oh, never mind. He finally was taken care of, and I went over to pay for my thing. Went and stood back in line, which when I got there with my grandmother at like 5 o'clock in the morning, the line wasn't really that long. But then when I got there after checking in, the line like kind of does, you know, here's where you go into the plane line thingy at the rest of the airport, and the line's like, and then the line goes that way all the way down, just to get into the terminal. And then the bathrooms there, they were space age. It was weird. You get in the ladies' bathroom, and like they had actual rooms with like a toilet and a sink and hand dryer and paper towels, and on the outside, just in case you actually happen to touch the door and you're a germaphobe, there's hand sanitizer on the wall on the outside. And to boot, there are more sinks. I think there were showers too, but I didn't explore the whole bathroom. I needed to get on my flight, so I went running down the terminal. Got there only to find out that they were boarding, and I had about 2 minutes left to get on the
McDonald's!
Yes, McDonald's meat! I had about 2 minutes to get onto the plane. I'm craving meat right now. So I get onto the plane, and I start up my computer, not realizing the fact that the sound was never muted when I shut it down last. And my boot up noise is...
Establishing battlefield control. Stand by.
Not very good. No. Kind of not the best thing after September 11th. And the ladies in the seat next to me are like, not wanting to talk to me. So I also found out that apparently you're not allowed to have any electronics on the plane. I mean, nothing. They made me stick my laptop under the seat. I couldn't do anything. So I ended up watching the in-flight movie and drooling like an idiot.
Goodbye. No use leading with our chins. This is where our story ends. Never lovers, ever friends. Goodbye. Goodbye.